The situation on GBP New Zealand is giving us an opportunity to take a trade on this one. If we look at what's happening on the daily time frame, we'll notice that price action has been bearish for for a while, at least since the beginning of February. We saw a bearish move to the downside. In as much as we have the possibility that a reversal setup is happening at this point, we're still not yet sure if this is really going to hold, as the bearish momentum that has been happening a long time is still very in the mind of participants in the market, and this can influence the decision that will happen in the nearest future. So scaling down to the 4 hours time frame, what I noticed here is the first thing is I realized that since price came around this 1.95 area, we saw rejection. That price, we saw rejection in such a way that sellers are actually inhibiting the the potentials of the buyers at this point. So in that regard, this area becomes a supply zone. Sorry, let me label it. Give this place a light red and our text right in between. So with that area becoming the demand zone and the bearish move that happened today, this bearish impulse like that happened today is quite a signal that we can't ignore at this point. And because of that breakdown at that level, we need to find a key level that we can work around with going forward. And what is our key level? Our key level is an area where we see a relationship with a support and resistance at one point in time in the past. And if we look closely, if we look left, we'll see that we had the rejection of this area. We had a support of this at this area. Hold on a second. We had a support at this area, and then we had a rejection. We had a rejection here. We had a resistance here. A rejection at this point. We had a rejection at this point, and we had the resistance here. We had the rejection. We had a breakout of structure around here, and finally we're having a multiple rejection since price broke down that level. So what we'll first of all do is this: we identify that key level, and when I pulled out my line chart, I noticed that the key level stands at around 1.927. And if we look closely into what has been happening lately, hold on a second. There is this area here where we see a reversal setup within that supply zone, after which we saw a breakdown of structure, which sent price crashing into 1.90385. And now we have something that looks like a retracement. There's a possibility that we might be looking at price going into this area, after which price continue to the downside. However, if we scale down to a much lower time frame, let's say the 1 hour time frame, things become a little bit more clearer, as if we look closely into what is happening, we can see that we can identify a trend line. If we spool out our trend line and the line chart, and we run the trend line across the pivot highs, we can see that we have a bearish momentum on the 1 hour time frame. Let me give this a red. So we have a bearish momentum on the 1 hour time frame. So with this trend line here, this shall also be our guide going forward. A, sorry, this will be our guide coupled with the key level will be our guide going forward. And if we see, look closely what has been happening since price broke down of that key level, earlier today we saw price break down the key level. We saw the first rejection of the key level zone, a breakdown for that, and now price we have a lower high and in the form of multiple rejection of this key level at the same time, which might also share a confluence with that bearish trend line, after which we might be seeing a trend continuation to the downside. So in this regard, and with this information at the back of my mind, I'm thinking of taking advantage of this, of a bearish momentum right below the key level, and using that trend line as our yardstick going forward. So what I've done at this point is I placed the pending order at 1.92247 and 1.92162 with the hopes that we might have a bearish continuation to the downside. So the position that I've set up is going to look more like this. And I was initially I saw that we can actually grab more profit with the way the structure is lining up. But I want to be looking for the meantime at the moment. Let's see what we can gain at the moment. And if price action moves further than that, then we can be looking for opportunity to take advantage or add more positions to our trade. So what I'm looking at is this. I'm looking at the psychology level at a take profit target at 1.9, which is about 200 and 200 pips thereabout, where I'll be looking forward to closing that trade. And if you see opportunity where price moves a little bit further down, then we can be looking for an advantage. We can look for how to take advantage of a downtrend continuation. So with that said, I would like to pause the video at this point, and please do know that I will definitely always give updates in the section below on my in the comment section below on my trading view account at every time I see something worthy to talk about or share with the public. So in this regard, I'll pause the video at this point and let's see how price action reacts going forward. So thank you for watching and do have a good night rest.